She was standing in the kitchen, one hand on her belly, the other gripping the counter. 6 months pregnant, and asking me why I seemed so happy lately. I put down my water bottle and looked at her. Not with anger, not with sadness, just clarity. Because I know you're pregnant, and I'm definitely not the father. The color drained from her face. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. I watched her try to process what I just said, watched her brain scramble for an excuse, a deflection, anything. But I wasn't done. I found the messages 3 weeks ago. You deleted them from your phone, but you forgot about the laptop. Your boyfriend sends pretty explicit photos, by the way. The one from the hotel downtown was particularly creative. She finally found her voice. I can explain. No need. I've had 3 weeks to piece everything together. Your late nights at work that started 6 months ago? Checked with your supervisor. You've been leaving at 5:30 like clockwork. Those weekend training sessions? Your company doesn't do weekend training. I called HR. Her hand moved to her mouth. You contacted my work? I asked general questions about company policies. Very general. But it confirmed what I already knew. You've been lying for half a year. She tried to step toward me. I held up my hand. Don't. We're past that now. This isn't what you think. I pulled out my phone and opened a folder. February 14th. You told me you had to work late for inventory. But your boyfriend posted a photo at the Riverside Bistro that night. You're in the background. Same dress you told me you wore to work. March 23rd. Girls' night out, you said. Except your best friend Phoebe called me that night asking if you wanted to join them. She didn't know where you were either. Each date I mentioned made her flinch. Good. She should know exactly how thorough I'd been. I tracked 6 months of lies. 6 months of you coming home and kissing me goodnight after being with him. 6 months of you pretending everything was fine while you were building a separate existence. I'm pregnant with your baby, she whispered. I laughed. Actually laughed. No, you're not. Let's do the math together. We haven't had sex since November. Not once. You said you weren't feeling well, remember? Too tired, too stressed, too everything. But apparently you had plenty of energy for him. That's not. We did. In December, remember? You tried to initiate once in December after 3 whiskeys. I said no because you could barely stand. That was December 2nd. You're 6 months pregnant now. June. Count backward. That puts conception around mid-December to early January. We didn't touch each other after December 2nd. She was shaking now. You're wrong about the timeline. Am I? Because your OBGYN records say the due date is September 8th. I called the office pretending to be you and confirmed. They were very helpful when I said I lost my paperwork. Conception would be mid-December. I was on that work trip to Seattle the entire second week of December. You remember, the one where you said you'd miss me so much? The one where you were actually with him. The tears started. I'd expected them eventually. I talked to a lawyer 2 weeks ago. Filed the initial paperwork yesterday. You'll be served tomorrow at work. I wanted to tell you myself first. Give you that courtesy at least. You can't do this. I absolutely can. And I am. She grabbed my arm. Please, we can fix this. Counseling, therapy, whatever you want. I pulled my arm back, gently but firmly. There's nothing to fix. You made your choices. You chose to lie, to cheat, to get pregnant with another man's child, and to come home every day acting like we had a marriage. You made those choices. Now you deal with the consequences. What about the baby? What about it? Not my child, not my problem. Your boyfriend can step up. Or not. That's between you two. I grabbed my keys and my bag from the hallway. I'd packed yesterday and left it at my brother Noah's place. Where are you going? Out. I'm staying with Noah for now. Don't contact me unless it's about dividing property. Everything else goes through the lawyer. You're just going to leave? Just like that. I stopped at the door and turned back one last time. No, I'm not leaving just like that. I'm leaving after 6 months of you betraying everything we built. I'm leaving after you lied to my face every single day. I'm leaving because you got pregnant with another man's child and thought you could pass it off as mine. Don't twist this into me abandoning you. You destroyed us long before I walked out this door. I left, got in my car, drove to Noah's place across town, and for the first time in 3 weeks since I found those messages, I felt like I could breathe. She'd spent 6 months building a lie. I'd spent 3 weeks building an exit strategy. The difference? Mine actually worked. Noah opened the door before I even knocked. How'd it go? About as expected. Denial, then panic, then desperation. I dropped my bag on his couch. Thanks for letting me crash here. Your family. Stay as long as you need. He handed me a beer. She tried to spin it. Oh yeah. First she said I was wrong about everything. Then she admitted some of it, but tried to minimize. Classic manipulation playbook. My phone started buzzing. Her name flashed on the screen. I declined the call. It immediately started again. You gonna block her? Noah asked. Not yet. I want to see how desperate she gets. My lawyer said to document everything. The calls kept coming. 10 times in the first hour. Then the texts started rolling in. Please just talk to me. You're being unreasonable. I made a mistake, but we can work through this. Think about our future. You're throwing away 5 years of marriage. I showed Noah the messages. He shook his head. Our future? She means her future. The one where you raise another dude's kid. That's exactly what she means. Watch, she'll try a different angle next. Sure enough, 20 minutes later, I love you. I never stopped loving you. Noah snorted. She loves you but spent 6 months screwing someone else. That's some creative definition of love. I typed back one message. Save it for the lawyer. We're done. Her response came fast. You can't just give up on us like this. Marriage is about forgiveness. I didn't respond. Let her spiral. The next morning, I woke up to 43 messages and 16 missed calls. She was unraveling fast. Good. She should feel a fraction of what she put me through. Work was easier than I expected. I'm a shift supervisor at a manufacturing plant, steady pay, decent benefits. My boss knew something was up, but didn't pry. I appreciated that. Around lunch, security called my extension. Hey, there's a woman here asking for you. Says she's your wife. Should I send her up? No. Tell her I'm unavailable and she needs to leave the premises. If she refuses, escort her out. And call me if she comes back. Got it. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. Security again. She left, but she wasn't happy about it. Just a heads up. Thanks for handling it. She was trying every avenue. Home, phone work, classic panic behavior. She'd built a house of cards, and now it was collapsing. That evening, her mother called. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. Hello, Mrs. Shepherd. What is going on? My daughter is hysterical. She says you're divorcing her out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. I kept my voice level. Did she mention she's been having an affair for 6 months? Did she mention she's pregnant with another man's child? Did she mention any of that? Silence on the other end. I didn't think so. Mrs. Shepherd, I have nothing against you, but your daughter made her choices. She lied to me daily, cheated on me repeatedly, and tried to pass off another man's child as mine. I'm done. If you want to support her, that's your choice. But don't call me expecting sympathy. She said it was a mistake. One time. It wasn't one time. It was 6 months of calculated deception. And the pregnancy proves it wasn't just emotional. She was physically involved with him while coming home to me. That's not a mistake. That's a pattern. You could try to work through this. No, I couldn't. And I won't. She destroyed any foundation we had. There's nothing left to build on. I hung up before she could respond. Blocked her number 2. They try to wear me down through guilt and family pressure. Standard playbook. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. Stop ignoring me. Her voice was sharp now, anger replacing the tears. We need to talk about the house, about finances. We'll talk through lawyers. That's what they're for. You're being ridiculous. Just come home and we'll sort this out like adults. Adults don't cheat on their spouses and lie for 6 months straight. You want to sort things out? Sign the divorce papers when they arrive. That's all the sorting we need. I'm not signing anything. Then enjoy a long, expensive legal battle you can't afford. Your choice. I hung up. Noah looked over from the kitchen. She's getting aggressive now? Anger phase. She cycled through denial and bargaining. Now she's pissed that I'm not caving. Good for you, man. Most guys would have folded by now. Most guys don't find out their pregnant wife has been screwing around for half a year. This isn't about being stubborn. This is about having standards. My phone buzzed again. This time it was my lawyer's office. Mr. Gordon? Just confirming she was served this afternoon at her workplace. She refused to take the papers initially, but the server left them with her. It's official now. Perfect. What's next? She has 30 days to respond. If she contests anything, we'll proceed accordingly. But based on the evidence you provided, this should be straightforward. The affair is documented. The timeline proves paternity isn't yours, and you kept everything organized. You did good work. Thanks. I just want this done. It will be. Stay the course. Don't engage with her directly anymore. Let me handle everything. I hung up and looked at Noah. Papers are served. It's officially in motion. How do you feel? Honestly, relieved. 3 weeks of pretending everything was fine while gathering evidence was exhausting. At least now it's out in the open. My phone lit up again. Her name. I declined it and opened my settings. Time to block her number completely. She'd get one avenue of communication, through the lawyers. Noah raised his beer. To cutting out toxic people. I clinked bottles with him. To knowing when to walk away. And for the first time since finding those messages, I slept through the entire night. 3 days after the papers were served, I got a call from an unknown number during my lunch break. Against my better instincts, I answered. Is this about the property on Riverside? A woman's voice, unfamiliar. I think you have the wrong number. Wait, sorry. Is this? She said my full name. I'm Blakely. I'm married to Timothy Vance. I believe you know him. Timothy Vance. The name from the messages. The affair partner. I know of him, I said carefully. Can we meet? Today if possible. I have information you need to hear. We met at a diner 30 minutes later. She was early 30s, professional looking, and visibly exhausted. Dark circles under her eyes, hands wrapped tight around a coffee mug. Thank you for meeting me, she said. I found your number in Timothy's phone. He had you listed as husband with a note about avoiding contact. How long have you known? 2 days. I found hotel receipts going back months. When I confronted him, he admitted everything. Well, not everything. Just enough to try to control the narrative. I slid my phone across the table, showing her the timeline I'd documented. Dates, locations, messages. Her face went pale as she scrolled. That hotel on 5th Street. We had our anniversary dinner across the street that same night. He said he had to check on a work emergency and disappeared for 2 hours. Her voice cracked. He was with her. I'm sorry you're going through this. Don't be. I'm glad I know. How long were they together? 6 months minimum based on what I found. Could be longer. She pulled out her own phone and showed me photos. I found these deleted from his cloud backup. Some are from 8 months ago. 8 months. Longer than I thought. We spent an hour comparing notes. The lies matched up perfectly. Business trips that didn't exist. Late nights that weren't work-related. Weekend conferences that never happened. She's pregnant, Blakely said quietly. Timothy told me. He thinks it might be his. It is his. We haven't been intimate since before conception. The timeline doesn't lie. What are you going to do? Already filed for divorce. Papers were served 3 days ago. What about you? Same. I contacted a lawyer yesterday. We don't have kids, thankfully. Makes it cleaner. She paused. Did you know there might be someone else? That stopped me cold. What do you mean? Timothy mentioned she'd been vague about the father. Said there was a chance it could be someone else. A third person. The diner suddenly felt too small. She told him that. That's what he said. He's panicking because he doesn't know for sure if he's the father. I sat back, processing. Not one affair. Multiple. And she'd been playing all of us. Do you know who the third person might be? No idea. Timothy wouldn't say more. I don't think he knows either. We exchanged contact information and agreed to share any new details. As I walked to my car, my phone buzzed. Noah. Dude. She showed up here. At my place. I told her you weren't here, but she's sitting in her car outside. I'm 20 minutes away. Don't engage with her. Wasn't planning on it. Just thought you should know. I drove to Noah's place. Sure enough, her car was parked across the street. When she saw me pull up, she got out. We need to talk. No, we don't. You met with Timothy's wife today. Don't deny it, he told me. So? She deserved to know the truth. Just like I did. You're trying to turn everyone against me. I'm not trying anything. You did that yourself. I just connected two people who were both being lied to. She stepped closer. The baby might be yours. The dates could work. They don't. Stop lying. Even your boyfriend isn't sure he's the father because apparently there's a third guy involved. How many people were you sleeping with? Her face flushed. That's not. Timothy is confused. So there is a third person? She didn't answer. That was answer enough. This conversation is over. Leave, or I'm calling the police for harassment. You can't do this to me. I have nowhere to go. You should have thought about that before cheating. Multiple times. With multiple people. You made your bed. I walked past her into Noah's place. She didn't follow. 10 minutes later, I heard her car start and drive away. Noah handed me a beer. Multiple guys? Apparently. She was running a whole operation. And she thought she could pin the kid on you. That was the plan. Get pregnant. Hope I didn't do the math and continue the charade. Except I'm not an idiot. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. This is Timothy. We need to talk about financial responsibility for the child. I stared at the message, then typed back. Not my child. Not my problem. Talk to your actual child's mother. She can explain how paternity works. His response came fast. You were married to her. You have some responsibility. I have zero responsibility for a child conceived during your affair with my wife. Zero. If you're the father, step up. If you're not, find out who is. Either way, leave me out of it. I blocked his number too. Noah looked at my phone. He tried to make it your problem? Of course he did. Nobody wants to take responsibility. They all want someone else to carry the weight. But you're not doing that. Not a chance. I'm walking away clean. They can figure out their mess without me. And I meant it. Every word. 2 weeks later, I got a text from her through a new number. We need to do a paternity test. For legal purposes. I called my lawyer first. She wants a paternity test. That's actually good for you. Proves definitively you're not the father. Makes the divorce cleaner. I'll arrange for an independent lab, not one she chooses. Why not her choice? Because I don't trust her not to try something. We use a certified lab with chain of custody documentation. Results hold up in court. 3 days later, we met at the lab. Neutral territory, a technician present, everything documented. She looked terrible. Thinner, pale, stressed. Part of me felt bad for half a second. Then I remembered the 8 months of lies. The technician took samples from both of us. Results in 3 to 5 business days. We'll send them directly to both parties and the attorneys. She tried to talk to me in the parking lot. Can we get coffee? Just to talk. No. 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. You had 8 months to talk. 8 months to be honest. You chose lies every single time. We have nothing to discuss. I'm scared. I don't know what I'm going to do. That's not my concern anymore. Figure it out with Timothy. Or the third guy, whoever he is. Her face hardened. There is no third guy. Timothy's wife seems to think differently. And Timothy told her you weren't sure about paternity. So either you lied to him, or you're lying now. Honestly, I don't care which. You're being cruel. No, I'm being honest. Cruel would be stringing you along, giving you false hope, then pulling it away. You know, exactly what you did to me for 8 months. I got in my car and drove away. She stood there watching me leave. 4 days later, the results came via email. I opened them sitting at Noah's kitchen table. Probability of paternity, 0%. 0. Absolute 0. I forwarded the results to my lawyer immediately. This seals it, right? This seals it. You have no financial or legal obligation to the child. We'll include this in the divorce proceedings. She can't claim support, can't put your name on the birth certificate, nothing. Good. That evening, she called from yet another new number. I almost didn't answer, but I wanted to hear her reaction. You saw the results. Her voice was flat. I did. I need you to understand something. There's nothing to understand. You cheated, got pregnant, tried to pass it off as mine. The test proves you failed. End of story. It's more complicated than that. No, it's not. You made choices. Bad ones. Now you live with them. I was confused. Timothy and I, it wasn't supposed to happen. 8 months of not supposed to happen. That's not confusion. That's a pattern. A choice you made repeatedly. Silence on her end. Is there actually a third person? I asked. More silence. Then quietly. Yes. That confirmation hit different than hearing it secondhand. Who? Someone from work. It was only a few times. Does Timothy know? No. And I'd appreciate if you didn't tell him. I laughed. Actually laughed. You'd appreciate it? You've got some nerve. You're asking me for a favor after everything you did. I'm asking you to let me handle this my own way. Your way? Your way was to lie to everyone. I'm not keeping your secrets anymore. Timothy deserves to know he might not even be the father. And whoever this third guy is deserves to know he might have a kid coming. Please don't. Watch me. I hung up. I immediately texted Blakely. She admitted there's a third person. Someone from her work. She had multiple affairs running simultaneously. Her response came within minutes. I'm telling Timothy tonight. Thank you for being honest with me. An hour later, my phone rang. Timothy. I answered. You told Blakely? He was angry. Your wife deserves the truth. Just like I deserved it. Your girlfriend was sleeping with at least 3 people at the same time. You, me, and someone else from her workplace. That's not. She said it was just us. She lied to you. Shocking, I know. A cheater who lies. Who could have predicted that? Which coworker? No idea. Not my job to investigate your girlfriend's other affairs. But if you want paternity certainty, you might want to find out before that baby arrives. He hung up on me. Noah looked up from his laptop. You just blew up their whole situation. Good. They deserve the chaos they created. All three of them. My phone buzzed. Her again. You had no right to tell them. I typed back. I had every right. You lost the privilege of me protecting your secrets when you destroyed our marriage. Deal with the consequences. She didn't respond after that. The next morning, I got a call from my lawyer. Her attorney reached out. She wants to settle quickly. Agrees to your terms. No alimony. Clean split of assets. She takes full responsibility for all debts accrued during the affair. What changed? My guess? Her world is imploding, and she wants to salvage what she can. Timothy probably confronted her about the third person. Her workplace probably found out. She's in damage control mode. How fast can we finalize this? If she signs everything without pushback? 3 weeks, maybe 4. Let's do it. Finally, I could see the finish line, and it felt good. The divorce papers arrived at my lawyer's office 2 weeks later, fully signed. No changes, no amendments, no last-minute attempts to renegotiate. She'd given up. This is unusually cooperative, my lawyer said during our meeting. Most contested divorces drag on for months. She folded completely. What's the timeline now? Judge reviews everything. Assuming no issues arise, you'll be officially divorced in about 30 days. 30 days. 1 month until I was completely free. That weekend, I went back to the house for the first time since leaving. She'd agreed to move out by the end of the month, so I needed to coordinate getting my stuff. Noah came with me for backup. The place looked different. Emptier. She'd already started packing. Boxes lined the hallway, labeled in her handwriting. Kitchen stuff, bathroom stuff, bedroom stuff. Weird being back. Noah asked. Not as weird as I thought. Just feels like a place I used to know. I started in the garage, boxing up tools and equipment. That's when I heard the front door open. She walked in carrying grocery bags, 7 months pregnant now. She stopped when she saw me. I thought you were coming tomorrow. Plans changed. I wanted to get this done. She set the bags down carefully. Can we talk? Just for a minute. There's nothing left to say. Please. I need you to know I'm sorry. Genuinely sorry. Not because I got caught, but because I hurt you. I stopped packing and looked at her directly. You want absolution. I'm not giving it to you. I'm not asking for that. I just want you to know that I recognize what I did was unforgivable. Good. At least you're being honest about something. I destroyed everything good we had. I know that now. You knew it then too. You just didn't care enough to stop. She wiped her eyes. I don't expect you to forgive me, but I hope someday you can at least not hate me. I don't hate you. Hate requires energy I don't have for you anymore. You're just someone I used to know who made terrible choices. That's it. That's worse than hate. Maybe, but it's honest. She picked up her grocery bags and walked to the kitchen. I went back to packing. An hour later, as I was loading boxes into my truck, Timothy's car pulled up. He got out, looking agitated. What are you doing here? I asked. I need to talk to her. That's between you two. I'm just here for my stuff. He walked past me into the house. I heard raised voices almost immediately. Noah looked at me questioningly. Not our problem, I said, loading another box. 5 minutes later, Timothy stormed out. She's impossible. Absolutely impossible. Congratulations, you figured that out. Only took you 8 months. You know she's refusing to tell me who the third guy is? Says it's none of my business. Well, if the test shows you're the father, I guess it isn't your business technically. That's not the point. I have a right to know. Do you? Because from where I'm standing, you were both cheating with someone who was married. You don't exactly hold the moral high ground here. His jaw tightened. You're enjoying this. Enjoying? No, but I'm not going to pretend I feel bad for you either. You knew she was married. You participated in destroying my marriage. Whatever karma you're experiencing now, you earned it. He got back in his car and drove off without another word. Noah came out carrying the last box. Did he seriously expect sympathy from you? Apparently. People are delusional. We finished loading and I went back inside one last time. She was sitting at the kitchen table, hands on her belly, staring at nothing. I'm done here. Everything else is yours. She looked up. Where are you going to live? Found a small place downtown. Lease starts next week. Are you happy? That question caught me off guard. Am I happy? Yes. With how everything turned out. Are you happy? I thought about it for a genuine moment. I'm not happy about what happened. But I'm relieved to be out. I'm relieved to know the truth. I'm relieved that I'm not raising a child that isn't mine. So yeah, in a way, I'm happy. Happy that I trusted my instincts and didn't ignore the signs. I wish things were different. I wish you'd been honest. But we don't get to rewrite the past. I walked out, pulled the door closed, and heard the lock click. Noah was already in his truck, ready to follow me. As I drove away, I looked in the rearview mirror one last time. The house got smaller and smaller until it disappeared completely. 3 weeks later, I got the call from my lawyer. It's official. You're divorced. Papers are filed. Everything is finalized. That's it. That's it. You're a free man. I hung up and sat there for a minute. 5 years of marriage, 8 months of lies, 2 months of divorce proceedings. All of it over. Noah knocked on my door holding 2 beers. Heard the news. Congratulations. Thanks. How does it feel? Like I can finally breathe without something heavy on my chest. He handed me a beer and we sat on my new balcony, overlooking the city. Small place, but it was mine. Clean slate. To fresh starts, Noah said. To knowing when to walk away, I replied. We clinked bottles and I took a long drink. The sun was setting, painting the sky orange and red. Tomorrow I'd wake up in my own place, answer to nobody, and start building whatever came next. But tonight, I just enjoyed the silence. The peaceful, honest silence. 3 months after the divorce was finalized, I ran into Blakely at a coffee shop downtown. She looked different, lighter somehow, hair cut shorter, dressed more casually than before. Hey, she said, genuine smile on her face. How are you doing? Good, actually. You. Better than I expected. Divorce finalized last month. Timothy fought me on everything until I threatened to expose the affair to his employer. He works in finance. Affair with a married coworker wouldn't look great. He signed quickly after that. We sat down with our coffees. She caught me up on everything. Timothy had done a paternity test after the baby was born. He was the father. 99.9% match. How's he handling it? I asked. Terribly. He wanted nothing to do with the baby at first, but the court ordered child support. He's paying for 2 households now, mine and hers. Last I heard, he's buried in debt and bitter about everything. And her. She had the baby 6 weeks ago. Boy, she's living in some tiny studio across town, working part-time because childcare is expensive. Timothy barely sees the kid. From what I understand, she's struggling. I felt nothing hearing that. No satisfaction, no pity. Just emptiness where concern used to be. The third guy, I asked, turned out to be her direct supervisor at work. Married, 3 kids. When his wife found out, she made sure everyone in their social circle knew. He got demoted. She filed for divorce, and your ex lost her job over the workplace affair. Had to find something new making less money. The dominoes had all fallen exactly as they should. And you're okay? Blakely asked. I'm better than okay. I've got my own place. Work is steady. I've reconnected with friends I'd lost touch with. Started going to the gym again. Picked up photography as a hobby. I'm just living my life without drama. No dating. Not yet. I'm not rushing anything. Taking time to figure out what I actually want instead of just falling into something. Smart. We talked for another 20 minutes, exchanged numbers to stay in touch, then went our separate ways. She was moving to another state for a job opportunity. Fresh start somewhere new. That evening, I had dinner with my parents. Mom had been worried about me for months, constantly checking in. But lately, even she'd noticed the change. You seem lighter, she said over dessert. I am. No regrets about how you handled things. None. I did what I needed to do. Set boundaries, protected myself, got out clean. I don't see how I could have done it differently and still maintain my dignity. Dad nodded approvingly. You handled it better than most men would. You didn't let emotion override logic. That takes strength. I learned from the best, I said, gesturing at him. Mom squeezed my hand. I'm proud of you for knowing your worth and not settling for less. A week later, I was at the grocery store when I saw her. She was in the checkout line, baby in a carrier strapped to her chest, buying formula and diapers. She looked exhausted, older than her age. The weight of her choices written in the lines on her face. She didn't see me. I didn't make myself known. I paid for my groceries and left. Noah called that night. You sound good, man. Like actually good, not fake good. I am good. Better than I've been in years, honestly. Think you would have been this good if you'd stayed? Try to work it out. Not a chance. I would have been miserable, raising a kid that wasn't mine, always wondering if she was being honest, always checking over my shoulder. That's no way to live. Some people would call you cold for walking away. Some people haven't been lied to for 8 months straight. Some people haven't had someone try to trap them into raising another man's child. Those people don't get an opinion on my choices. Fair point. I looked around my place. Small but comfortable. Clean. Organized. Peaceful. Everything I needed and nothing I didn't. You know what the best part is? I said, "What's that?" I wake up every morning and don't have to wonder if I'm being lied to. I don't have to question anything. It's just me, making my own choices, living my own life. And that's worth more than any relationship built on deception. To peace and quiet, Noah said. To knowing when to let go. 6 months after the divorce, I was exactly where I needed to be. Not bitter, not angry, not dwelling on what happened. Just moving forward, one day at a time, building something authentic. She'd made her choices. I'd made mine. The difference was, I could sleep at night knowing I'd handled everything with integrity. I hadn't lied, hadn't manipulated, hadn't tried to trap anyone into a life they didn't choose. I'd simply recognized when something was broken beyond repair and had the courage to walk away. And honestly, that was the best decision I ever made. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do isn't fighting for something. It's knowing when to stop fighting and let it go. I learned that lesson the hard way, but I learned it completely, and I was better for it.